pick the top 10 guys that are in love with this bodybuilding game. Longevity, the long time, the long span of it. He'd have to be way up there. You know, he's totally dedicated and in love with this. It's a part of his life, Louis, that never was fulfilled. If Louis wins or loses Olympia, Louis will always be a champion.
Lou Ferrigno was born in Brooklyn, New York in 1951. When he was just 2 or 3 years old, his life took a turn that would shape everything to come. He had a series of ear infections, but no one realized the damage they were causing. Not until one day, his parents spoke to him. And he didn't respond. That was the moment they knew something was wrong.
I was very introverted. I decided to try bodybuilding. It gave me such a good feeling about myself. It made me feel strong because as a kid, they used to call me deaf-mute. So I thought I was dumb, I was stupid because I didn't have my hearing.
From then on, life for young Lou wasn't easy. His parents, unsure how to handle the situation, pushed him hard, sometimes too hard, putting pressure on him in ways that made him feel uncomfortable, even unwanted. And the world outside wasn't kinder. At school, his classmates showed no sympathy. They teased him relentlessly for the large hearing aid he had to wear. Day after day, he was singled out, mocked, and made to feel like an outsider. It chipped away at his confidence, leaving him with deep insecurities and painfully low self-esteem. Academically, he struggled too.
I wasn't doing very well in school. They threatened to put me back one grade. So my father said to me, he says, okay, I'll make a deal with you. If you come home, you pass your grades, you keep the weights. If you don't, I'm going to throw everything out.
Books and lessons didn't come easy, but inside, something was brewing. Lou was tired of feeling powerless. He wanted to protect himself, to stand tall against the world that seemed determined to push him down. And that's when he found bodybuilding.
I always got involved in reading comic books, like the Hulk, Spider-Man, because I was always intrigued by the muscle. I used to watch Hercules on TV with Steve Reeves. I used to watch Superman, fantasizing that the big muscles would be a great defense for me, to protect me against my handicap. But when I started to lift weights, I said to myself, I'm going to be so big, so strong someday, nobody's going to pick on me.
To Lou, muscle wasn't just about size. It was armor. Each rep, each set, each drop of sweat was a step toward becoming unshakable.
And then I got to the point that I one day discovered Joe Weider's Muscle Power, at the time, Muscle Fitness. And I realized that bodybuilders did exist, like Miss America. And subconsciously, without realizing, I knew that it was a thing for me to feel better about myself. Because when I was a young kid, they used to pick on me all the time. They used to pull my hearing aid out of my ears. They used to call me deaf Louis, deaf mute. So I wanted to be strong enough and big enough that people will have respect for me. So then I took up bodybuilding.
His goal wasn't only to grow stronger physically, but to rebuild himself mentally. Lou was an emotional guy, but he poured those emotions into the iron. And over time, the boy who once felt invisible began to transform into a man the whole world would notice. His rise became one of the most inspiring stories in bodybuilding. In the golden age of the sport, there was one rivalry that captured everyone's attention: Arnold Schwarzenegger versus Lou Ferrigno. It was the talk of the entire industry. And then came the role that would immortalize him: the Incredible Hulk. Lou Ferrigno, once the quiet, insecure boy from Brooklyn, became a symbol of strength across the globe. A real-life superhero who showed the world that no matter where you start, you can always build yourself into something greater.
I was about 19 years old when I entered my first competition. I came 23rd place.
He placed 23rd in his first ever competition. But that was the moment Lou knew. This was his thing.
But I remember that night when I stepped on stage and the flashbulbs going off, I flexed and posed and everything, people clapping for me, and I'm saying to myself, wow, they're clapping for me. I mean, this is something I'm really proud of. That night I came home, I told my family I'd never come less than third place again.
He loved it. And deep down, he believed that one day he would become Mr. Olympia.
So I ended up mapping out my routine and training twice as hard. I've lost so much in my life when I was young growing up. To fulfill that part of me made me extremely competitive.
Bodybuilding is a solo sport, and Lou fell in love with the challenge of competing against himself, pushing past his own limits. From there, the wins started coming. Mr. Eastern America, Mr. Teenage America, Eastern Teenage America, Mr. International. He became runner-up at the Mr. Olympia twice, and claimed the Mr. Universe title twice.
The youngest one to win the universe, I was 21 years old. It was my greatest achievement because I know when I won the universe, that's the dream coming true. That broke the mold and made me realize that someone like myself with my problem, the sky's the limit. The reason why people want to be Mr. Olympia because they want to say, I am the best built man on the planet, the world, the best of the best. There's only one Mr. Olympia. You could be Mr. Universe, you could be Mr. America, you could win the national. But Mr. Olympia means you are number one.
In the 1970s, there were two names ruled the game: Arnold Schwarzenegger and Lou Ferrigno. They were giants.
The difference between him and Arnold was that Arnold had a will firing. Lou also had a strong will, but not like Arnold.
Pop him one way. Let's go. Oh, I beat him.
Both stood well over 6 feet tall, their physiques pushing close to 300 pounds of sheer muscle. They defined an era, and they fueled one of the greatest rivalries the sport had ever seen.
And Lou Ferrigno, I thought following Arnold was great because he's big, he had natural potential. In fact, Arnold told me many times if I had Lou Ferrigno's genetics, he says I would have been twice as good as I am today.
Think about it. A young boy once dismissed, teased, and written off because he was deaf, now standing on the most prestigious stage in bodybuilding, shoulder to shoulder with Arnold, the genius, the king of bodybuilding himself.
Lou vacillated more because Lou was much more an emotional person and Arnold was more plotting, mental, and so forth.
Because in this sport, the idea of competing has always been simple. Show the absolute best version of yourself and prove that it can stand against anyone in the world.
Fear, coming back, getting on stage again, G-string, whatever you call it, my best shape, my legs better than ever, 40 pounds heavier. I said nothing's gonna stop me.
When Pumping Iron was being filmed, Lou Ferrigno stood as the only man who could truly rival Arnold on sheer presence alone.
Wherever he goes, you pose down with him, right next to him. Let the judges make a comparison. You're 6'5", you're gonna be the biggest thing that ever went out on that platform at 275 pounds, Louis. They know that, and he knows it. This is for the big baby, Louis.
He was towering. At 6'5", a full 3 inches taller than Arnold, Lou's size was something the bodybuilding stage had never witnessed before.
All wrapped up in one night, Louis. Remember that. When you step out there, boy, remember all those grueling nights and mornings in the gym. And this is it. This is the reward, and we want it. We want it so bad that we could taste it.
His frame, his width, his height, it was a spectacle.
We got to get so excited, Louis, that when we get out there, we have only one thought in mind. That's the Olympia. We're going to win.
They once called him the Deaf Kid. Now the world was watching as he transformed into a monster of muscle. A monster the whole world would remember.
I knew that whatever happened, I was part of something that's going to be history because of myself and Schwarzenegger. And of course, Arnold at the time was like 5 times Mr. Olympia. And to be on stage with him, you know, you're on stage with the best.
Lou became an icon. And from 1978 to 1982, he starred in countless episodes of The Incredible Hulk.
And one day a director came on the set with his son. And he said, the boy said the Hulk has got to be big, huge muscle, They started to get nervous, realizing they had to find the right person to play the Hulk because they knew the show would be in trouble. When I went down for the screen test, I knew I had this part because when they saw my physique, my body, and I was able to show different emotions without speaking, able to cry and everything, then I knew I landed the part. And to have that part, knowing that it was something I've been dreaming about for 20 years as a little boy, reading those comics, fantasized of becoming the Hulk, it was kind of like a dream coming true.
It was his favorite role of all time, the one he loved playing more than anything.
No one can play the Hulk but myself. The hardest thing for me was not really playing the Hulk. The hardest thing for me was able to maintain the condition because sometimes I'm finished 9 o'clock at night shooting. Just an hour to take the makeup off. I just went straight to the gym. Trained for an hour, went home, collapsed, fell asleep, back on the set. At 5 o'clock the next morning. That was brutal.
In 1994, Lou Ferrigno walked onto the Masters Mr. Olympia stage one final time.
Second place, receiving the silver standout medal being presented by Richard Pizarro of Weeder Foods, Lou Ferrigno.
Years of sacrifice, battles, and glory had led to this moment. After stepping on stage at the Masters Mr. Olympia, Lou decided it was time to retire from bodybuilding.
I want to say tonight officially, I have retired from bodybuilding. Thank you very much for making who I am today. My love to you, especially all my fans. And I promise I will continue bodybuilding for the rest of my life. Goodbye and thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. I love you all.